Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install our Titan chain snow tire chains here on our 2022 Ram 1500 Classic. Now we're going to be installing this on a tire size 275/60 R20. If you have a different tire size for your vehicle, just be sure to enter it in our fit guide to make sure you get the right chain for you. Otherwise, this is going to be a really sturdy chain with a ladder pattern here. You can see that we've got the cross links going across the tire here. It is going to result in a slightly bumpier ride, but it is going to give us good traction for starts and stops. The square-shaped links here are going to give us a pretty good bite, a little bit more than something you might see like a twist link style chain, and a little bit less than a V-bar style chain. Those ones are very aggressive and often not for on-road use. This is a really good middle ground, and I think it's going to give you a nice medium traction. They do have a manganese nickel alloy construction, so it is going to help them resist rust and corrosion over time. You want these to last more than just a season, and I think with that coating they definitely should. The rubber adjuster here is not included, but we do recommend having it to ensure a good snug fit on your tire. It's going to help just make sure everything stays in place when you're going down the road. They do come with this reusable canvas bag here. It's not my favorite. These tend to rip and tear pretty easily and don't last all too long. Oftentimes they'll even come with rips in them. So I would personally just recommend getting something like a plastic tote to put these in. That's also going to really help against any water in your vehicle if you do store these in the cab of the truck. So that's the route I would go. But as far as getting them installed goes, it's going to be really straightforward. Check out that process now. Starting off the installation, you want to lay out the chain, make sure there's not any sort of kinks or breaks in the links. These can often get pretty tangled up in the bags they come in, so just make sure everything's all good. Everything's laid out nice and straight, and we want to make sure of a couple things. These end pieces here where the cross links connect to the main outer portions of our chains, there's going to be a smooth side right here and a more hooked side. That more hooked side we want to be facing away from the tire, so face up like this is great. And we want this lever to be out in front of the tire. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to just drape this over the top of the tire. You do have the option to lay it down and drive over it, but we're going to be doing it like this today. So just grab it somewhat in the middle, walk it up to your tire, and carefully lay it over the top. And kind of get it as centered as you can, front to back, side to side, and we'll go around to the back side and make our first connection. So on the back side here, we've got the end with our free links and the side with our hook. We're just gonna hook into one of these links. You might have to do some back and forth when you're figuring out what the right size for your truck is. I'm gonna start with the second link right there. And if we have any looseness in the front, we might consider coming back to tighten it up a bit or loosen it. So we'll go around front and make that next connection. So pulling our hook around to the front here, we can then choose a link to loop that through and pull it back just like this. You'll see some tension start to get pulled there. And we actually have a free link to hook that into. Bring it back like this. You can see there's a fair amount of tension on there, which is what we want. And then I can hook that end into our free link back here. So we can pop this through our second link here, fold it back, and hook it onto this free link right here. And as it stands right now, it's fairly tight, but we're gonna add a rubber tensioner just to ensure that everything is really secure. Now these aren't included in the kit, and they're not necessarily required for driving with these tire chains on, but we always recommend them just to make sure they keep the tire chains on there and centered. And you wanna just kind of go back and forth in a star-shaped pattern here, trying to hook them on relatively evenly. This is going to make sure that there is a sort of constant tension on the chains that just holds it a lot tighter to the tire, making it more secure and safe on your drive. At this point, you want to do the other side, drive forward a few times and hop out, make sure everything's still sitting on there nice and evenly, and then once you've verified everything's secure, you're ready to hit the road. And that'll do it for our look at the Titan chain snow tire chains here on our 2022 Ram 1500 Classic.